Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Hello, and welcome. And yes, apologies for being late, but the computer decided to play silly buggers. Something about updates and weirdness, and now it's flashing all sorts of stuff up on the screen at me because go live, there's a whole bunch of random stuff flashing up. Yes, I know, I don't use that. That's why that's not logged in. Hello, Marit, my dear, how are you? Hope all is well. Now, I'm not entirely sure why everything looks so on the Oh, well, never mind. I'm on the so it doesn't really matter. So yes, good to know you're on the mend, as it were. Yeah. So I had a bit of a reaction to what was in the church. It wasn't a pleasant experience. Let's be honest. It's a very, very beautiful building. Don't get me wrong, gorgeous building, that church. There's something in there that doesn't like me though, and it made it blatantly clear to me that it doesn't want me going back in there. It didn't want me in the first place. Overall, a general vibe of, or energy, or spidey senses, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I don't want you here. You're not welcome. The two loud bangs that happened as I was leaving the quiet prayer area, I didn't actually hear those. Hearing them was a bigger surprise for me as it was for anyone else, because I was there and I didn't hear them until I played it back on the doobly-doo and I heard the two loud bangs. It was like, yeah, they weren't there when I was there. I didn't hear them. And yeah, whatever it did actually, well, I mean, it might have been something else, but as we know how, especially you know, anxiety, stress, all these kind of things can affect other parts of your body. Yes, me being in there for that long, I was in there for maybe 12 minutes. I walked in, had a little wander around just to familiarize myself with the layout. Then I hit record, did my waffle and wander, and then the next day, suffice to say, I had an irritable bowel flare-up. I hadn't eaten or done anything else out of the ordinary. Howdy, yes, I know the ritual. That might have been the problem. There might have been people doing rituals in that church. But hey, it was a place of worship pre-Roman period, so God knows what's happened there in the thousands of years the site's been in use. So I don't think it's a religious thing, because I don't have that issue in other churches. It's literally just that irregular vowels. Yeah, they're not good, especially when you're trying to sing. Yeah, didn't want a dose of that back then. Oh dear. But yeah, but that's all done, dusted, over with, sorted, and I ain't going back in there if I can help it. Let's put it that way. No, it's one of those things where if something makes it clear that you're not welcome, it's probably a good idea not to go back. Yeah, I was literally the only person in the entire building, Marriott, and it wasn't that windy outside. Ro, how are you, my dear? Long time no see. I hope all is well with you. You have been missed around Fish Fam. Yeah, I was like, those noises weren't me. It wasn't me kicking anything or any loose floor slabs or anything like that. That was, and from playing it back and listening to it, it sounded like it came from above and behind me, and there wasn't no one else in there. If there'd have been anyone else in the church, I wouldn't have filmed a video. Rose back. Oh, awesome. Where's my wrench? You can be my wrench anytime you like, Ro. Yeah. As, and now I'm getting all the notifications coming through about Aquasmella. All of the exact same videos that people have been done. Oh, I love you too. Yeah, I'd take the Mickey, but it was exactly the same with the modelling, scale modelling, and Telford. Uh, every YouTuber would make a video from Telford. See one of them, you don't need to see any of the others, in my book anyway. And I still can't figure out why people spend like 2 days there. Printing out shipping labels and putting together boxes. Awesome. Do the whole shipping thing and buffering. And it's probably my computer doing something silly. Yeah, I don't do shipping. I just take them straight to the LFS and sell straight to store. Yes, I get less money, but I get a lot less grief and hassle. Plus, that's not like, oh yeah, I'd like to buy a bristlenose pleco or 2 bristlenose plecos. It's, yeah, John, can we have 100 this week? Works out a lot easier for me in the long run. Because if I was selling 1 or 2 bristlenoses at a time, ye gods, I'd make more money possibly, but the grief and the hassle is just not worth it for me. I'd much rather open my thermal insulated bag and go, well, there's 25 bristlenoses, that's 50, 75, 100. There's 50 shrimp, 20 snails. Yeah, it's a lot less work than running websites and shippings. Yeah, I'm just kind of lucky. I don't know if you have probably not seen my Swallow Aquatics store tour videos. We got 5 parts of it done, and that is just the wet stuff and the exotics. It's a huge place, well, by UK standards anyway. So yeah, I have got the feather and furry section filmed, and I'm probably going to upload that this week, which will be part 6. Then there's all the hardware sections and the petting zoo, and yeah, it's a big place, and it's like 9 miles down the road. Oh, love your loyal customers, and that keeps you going. Well, yeah, I would, Rob, but it's a bit far for me to have fish shipped. I don't think they make it across the Atlantic, and plus, no offense, but the cost of shipping. Does Tesco sell better fish? No, they don't. No. If Tesco's wanted to sell any kind of animal, they'd need a full pet shop license, and it would be rather expensive for somewhere like Tesco. With every single store they had would need to have one. No, you don't want to ship me Plecos Row. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've probably got more. So I'm a bit low on stock at the moment. I've only got about 700. Because we got 150 bristle noses in there, 80 in there, 150 in there, 100 longfin super reds in there, and in the tank down the bottom there's another 100. I've got another breeder box with 100, and 2 or 3 weeks ago I had an entire batch get eaten out of there. So yeah, you don't want to try shipping to the UK. Ever since Brexit, the import charges and everything are just ludicrous. I've got common bristle noses, lemon blue eye bristle noses, and longfin super red bristle noses, and clown plecos. Keep forgetting about them because you never see them pretty much. Nah, you don't need to fly over it, see me. You see most of it. There you go. There's just a few more display tanks over there. They're probably all hiding up at the moment. But here we go. I know what we can do. We do need to do water changes on the pleco tanks. But as you've not seen, so down the bottom there is the big grow up tank, 14 gallon. Snails and mollies empty. Oh, that way. Longfin super reds. Common bristlies, some mollies. Common bristlies. Common bristlies. Longfin albino. Yes, I'm English. We pronounce it albino correctly. Green dragons I would like. Because, yeah, I can breed bristle noses quite well. So if I can breed the rarer and more expensive coloured variants, I can make more money. And Stilinias here. Howdy, Stilinia. And you're getting 9 snow whites. Oh, you beep. I want snow whites. I want longfin snow whites. I want a pair of longfin snow whites. I can't afford a pair of longfin snow whites. That's the problem. I was umming and ahhing today about whether to get some Congo tetras or panda cories, and in the end I didn't pull the trigger on either. Just money. Lack of. Thank you very much, still in you. Liked and shared. Always appreciated. I'll say again, things like Aquabid we kind of don't really have over here. Thank you very much, Daniel San. Sharing me out on FishTubers notifications. And Big E's is here as well. God dear. Is this literally all the people who've had enough of Aquashella videos for today? If you win the lottery. If I win the lottery, I'll fly over there and bring you some super reds. What city do I live in? I am just outside of Norwich. Pronounced in America, Norwich. Working on something a bit different. Want a sneaky peek? Depends what you've been working on, Dan. Because I mean, if you've been working on your abs, I don't really want to see that. But you know me, I don't say no. Or is this just in case you want to do a video on it and you don't want me to do a video on it as well? Because that does tend to happen, doesn't it, Dan? So if what have I got this week? Is it going to be? Friday will be the exterior tour and history lesson. That sounds bad on Attleborough Church. I've not come up with a short yet. I'll keep it to myself, Dan, don't worry. And nobody talks to me anyway. You don't see me doing this one, but yeah, well, if it costs money, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, so Friday is going to be that. Wednesday is going to be another silly short. I think tomorrow is either going to have to be the feather and furry section of, no, not my bedroom closet, of the swallow aquatics, or I might film a species profile on something, maybe something shelltastic. I heard the ping, Dan. But if I don't check it till after the stream, then I can't give it away, can I? You see, that's my thinking. Plus, I know what Marit's like for sending me messages. Yeah, so we might do a species profile on my Shelly dwellies, or possibly something else. We shall see. Lurking and listening, getting, yeah. You sort your packages out, Rose. Good to see you again, my dear. Now have fun. Lurk and work. I did find somewhere local that can special offer me in, or special order, as it were, the Nanacara Anomala in. And as I was saying to Marit earlier this week, they want £35 a fish. Or 30 quid each if I buy 3 or more. With a 50% not discount, deposit. So, yeah, we're not getting them from there. Especially as like this morning, I had an advert turn up on Facebook with someone that's selling them at £6.99. You're like, okay, yeah. I ain't paying 35 quid for something I can get for 7. That's one of those very rare cases where actually ordering it online would be cheaper. Although, again, you can't guarantee you're going to get a pair, so you have to order more to make sure you get a male and a female. And then it did occur to me that if I put Nanacara in with Acara, am I going to get Mini Cara? Would the full-size Acaras be able to breed with the Nanocaras and get a medium-sized Acara? Is an investment once I breed them out? Yeah, true. But it's one of those things that I know I can find them cheaper than 35 quid each. Even if we've got to drive an hour or two. No, just get hell. But they will be fine together in the tank. If anything, the Nanocaras would attack the Acaras, because Dippy and Dopey here, Bert and Ernie, they're scared of their own shadows. And yeah, I know I'd get hell for, you can't hybridize them. Hey, they're called, no, they're not a hybrid. They're a Mini Cara Sharpei. They're a new species. Something I would have thought Acaras and Nanocaras being very similar things would probably crossbreed. Hopefully not. I mean, I'd feel sorry for the female in that case, because I've only got male Acaras, but you know. Yeah, so it was that, and then I looked at the Panda Cories and the Congo Tetras, the place we went today, and yeah, that was still a bit pricey. Keep my eye as soon as the legs are fertilized, swipe the drop. Well, that's the thing, Dan, they're cave spawners and Nanocaras, so they would spawn inside a coconut hut, so they'd be safe for a bit. And eating eggs wise, I'd be more worried about, well, let's be honest, the mollies than I would Acaras. Because the electric lure car, I don't even bother trying to eat molly fry. The newborn molly fry will go swim next to the Acaras, so the bigger mollies don't eat the little molly. You know, it's huge fish. It's safer here than it is by smaller fish. They're weird. But yeah, I'll give them a go on their own and see how they got on if they did eat the eggs. And then I'll either pop them in a grow out tank or pop them in a shrimp tank. Shrimp tank's probably a really good idea, actually, as long as the shrimp don't eat the eggs. Just got to remember to get the Acaras out of the tank before they eat the shrimp. Oh, itchy nose. So, yeah, what else has happened this week? Issues with churches notwithstanding, I did join the Attleborough Town Heritage Society. So I now have access to the town's archives for historical documentation and stuff. And a bunch of old people whose brains I can rack for local ghost stories and haunted places, which will be useful. Plus, I'm about 30 years younger than anyone else there. So, yeah, and I'm not young. Yeah, so we're working on these things. Well, I need to find a job first. As soon as I've got a job, I'll have enough money to be able to do the stuff I want to do. But then will I have time to do the stuff I want to do because I'll have a job? Yeah, it's that kind of I just got a no bristle nose argument. Will you two behave? I'm still not sure whether it's a male or a female. Maybe HS. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be one of them weird ones where I need to find a job that pays enough but doesn't. I don't have to do that much work or that many hours. So, because otherwise, the problem is if I've only got 2 days off a week, that leaves me one day during the week to do. And I admit this is probably the same for most of you lot. But for me, doing all my household chores and all my water changes and my shopping and everything all on the same day is just not going to happen. So it needs to be a part-time job to give me the time to do things because, you know, I struggle with actually doing things. What do I call it? No, not that. Pardon me. Motivation. That's it. I do struggle with motivation to actually get off my butt and do something. It's just me. So that's why I've been doing more videos lately as well. So I'm actually doing something. Whether it's a fishy video or a historical or spooky one where I've got to do some research and stuff like that, then it gets me doing. And once I'm up and doing, I can carry on. I can do, but it's just the getting started that's the problem. So I'm just knocking all the baccy to one end of the baccy tin because we're getting a bit low again. That time of the week. Howdy, Simon. Welcome, welcome. So yes, fish-wise. The only other one I was tempted with was coolie loaches that we saw today. But the tank the tank that I would put them in, which is the one that I was going to put panda cories in, which I still will if I can get some for a decent price, is the new one, which is the one with the canister filter on it. And yeah, coolie loaches and canisters are probably not a good combination. I know I do run an intake pre-filter on there, but if that pre-filter gets taken off for certain reasons like cleaning or whatever, I can guarantee I'm going to end up with all the coolie loaches in the bottom of the canister filter. So that's probably not the best idea. I'm just assuming they probably swim straight up the intake. And plus, there's the catching them out of the quarantine tank and moving them over. And then if I do ever need to catch them again, it's not going to happen. I'd have to put a snail on a really tiny fishing hook. That's about the only way I'd catch them, I think. And then just hope that nothing else the size is going to munch. Yeah, so church visits, Maidenhead today. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've done this week. Not a lot. As usual. Well, that and upset people on Facebook, but that's just what I do. I'm actually getting really good at upsetting people on Facebook without breaking the rules and getting banned. So, yeah, that takes some doing. And what I will say is try not to talk about Ukraine. I'm not saying I'm not, no, don't care, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Just let's leave that out because that's just asking for trouble. It's right up there with talking about any other politics or religion, so we'll leave that be. Although, am I the only one that fancies a chicken Kiev now? Oh, sorry, a chicken Kiev. Yeah, no, it's a chicken Kiev. The city is Kiev. The French food is Kiev because it's been through multiple different languages, which is why it's pronounced differently. Yeah, that's dealt with. It's the reason I was a bit late. Computer decided to play silly buggers, hence the title. Because computers do. They're absolutely fine. You turn them off, you turn them back on again 2 days later, and they go, "Ugh!" Yeah, I know. Professional Facebook annoyer. Like, hire me to irritate people I fell out with. Yeah, I just irritate people generally by my presence on Facebook. I try not to in fish groups, but it still happens. But that's normally because that's normally the people who think you can only do things one way and there's only that way and any other way you're just going to kill all your fish. I'm going, yeah, but I do it that way. Works for me. Oh, hello, little baby shellies. Yes, so we definitely do have 4 generations of shell dwellers in the same tank now. So it won't be long before we start selling the adults again. Yeah, and the babies will quite happily just trundle about. They don't care. because the adults don't bother them. There's all sorts of, yeah, there's at least 3 generations, if not 4 in now. I think it's 4 generations now. Because one of the fry of the fryers had fry. Yeah. Yeah, it's. I just like hitting people with common sense and logic, and that doesn't seem to go down well with a lot of people. Plus, for some reason, people think I'm dumb. Must be because I'm English and fat, with bad hair and bad teeth. I wear glasses. That means I'm intelligent, right? Paywalls for pirates. Very cool name. Welcome aboard. So yes, what else have we been up to? Yeah, other than that, it's basically just been water changes and filter cleanings. You can't clean your filters every week or clean them twice a week. Dee Dee, my dear, how are you? Ugh. Yeah, itchy nose. At least it's itchy on the outside, not the inside. There's no way to itch the inside of your nose without it looking like you're picking it. And I cut all my nails, so that doesn't work either. Uh, yeah. I think, yeah, I've really not done much this week at all. I mean, it probably wouldn't be the first time I've picked my nose on camera. Let's be honest, I've probably done most other things on camera at some point or another. But yeah, most people will hit mute to burp. My shrimp tank maintenance video. Yeah, that's one way of annoying people, Dan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That definitely upsets people. Um, yes, I've had to delete a few comments off of that one. It's yeah. Again, we're back to there is only one way to do things, and any other way is wrong and bad. Yeah. I breed and sell them. I make enough shrimp that I sell shrimp and supply a shop. I think my colonies are okay. Hello, hello, Dennis. Good morning. I should say this only Burns. Hang on. Tis I, Leclerc. Uh, yes, we're trying to ignore world events this evening, Dennis. Um, it's everywhere, all over news, media, everything. So we're trying to avoid talking about that unfortunate. Not because it's it's just going to cause trouble. I know it. Much religion, politics. We'll leave it be. Then we can each have our own opinions and views, and we don't upset each other or cause problems or anything. Not that I'm worried about upsetting people. Simply Scrimps is here. Evening, sir. How are you doing? Ignore all news and world events. Yeah, it's usually for the best. Yeah, it's let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Talk about fish and shrimpies, let it be. Oh God, it's not even as short and I'm singing. I do apologise. But hey, at least I'm not trying to sing Dolly Parton this time, so we're okay. Yeah, you can't ignore it, but it's, yeah, not ignoring it, just trying to put it aside for a couple of hours. Just have a moment of zen. Om, om. And yes, I can do that and still hold a cigarette. Um, oh, hello, Sherry. That wasn't an interview. It was just handing in a CV and a cover letter. I haven't heard back yet, so we're not going to worry about it too much. Why can't you ignore what's not happening in your own house? Yeah, exactly. I ignore plenty that's going on. I like to keep abreast of events enough that I know what's happening, but I don't watch or pay that much attention that my views and opinions get coloured by the media. Yes, let's just have a few hours of normal. Sherry, oh, baby. Or even, yeah. But I'm not singing that version, Dee Dee. I'm not doing Frankie Valli, not after Limit Dolly Parton. I ain't got my clamp out. I need a clamp to get those high notes. I'm not going to get down to Louis Armstrong levels and Jeff Castellucci levels, but I can't do high notes. And yeah, if you're not familiar with Jeff Castellucci, you should be. The guy is an awesome singer. Um, he is part of the a cappella group. Oh God, what's the name? Voice Play. I think that's the one. Yeah, excellent bass singer who goes subharmonic. So you get to the bottom end of the piano, and he's like right down on the first three keys of the piano level of sit on the speaker, ladies. Yeah, I say you got to do what's right for you, Marek. And I say, Papa is how a career in ASMR. Swallowing energy drinks, relighting dog ends from the ashtray. I think the thing is that'd be the kind of ASMR I'm more likely to listen to. Not someone stroking a headphone or all sort. Nah. Oh, story's not over. It's never over till it's over. And I'm not going to use the football analogy because that might upset someone. Because it's not over until a certain person sings. Although that originally comes from opera, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely not got the ASMR thing. My breathing is too loud for ASMR. Goes all quiet, all quiet, all quiet. Bah. Turns out your puppy mom was stolen a few years ago. So was it the people who stole her that were selling the puppies, Marek? Yeah, and nobody wants to hear me breathing. I'm A, asthmatic, B, been smoking for 30 odd years, and C, both the above. I've broken my nose several times, so yeah, my breathing at the best of times sounds like something is dying. Howdy, Matt. Yeah, sometimes I don't, you know. I'm scared more than one person. Let's put it that way. When they realise that I've stopped breathing in my sleep. So stole the female and then bred from her to sell the. Yeah. Some people need a good kick in the plums. But yeah, gits. That's all I can say. Gits. Yeah. Hope you're well, Matt. Hello, Patty dearest. And everyone, don't forget, if you got a hankering for some fishy YouTubey nonsense, go to fishfam.link and you'll be able to find all your favourite fish tubers and me with full pages and all sorts of cool info, and it's actually laid out in a way that older farts like me can understand. And there's even a live button, which if you click it, it will tell you who's live at any given time and a whole load more stuff besides. And that's all down to Matt, Liquid Zoo Only Fins. He set all that up for us. I thank you, myself. And don't worry, Matt, that is the only time I will call you sir. I will go back to offending you. Hey, credit where it's due, bud. That's the thing. If someone does something credit worthy, I will happily shout them out. If someone does something dumb as well, I'll quite happily shout them out as well. No, like, oh, thank you, Patty. Oh, 99-cent super sticker. Thank you very much, Lee. Most appreciated. Yeah, let's see. In ran from the vet bill. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's technically what we call puppy farming. Oh, thank you very much, Matt. $3 fist bump. And I'll even crack my knuckles for you. Token for the guy who tokes. Oh, bless you. Well, tokens are welcome. The token toker. That's something I do wonder sometimes. Is how many of us, fish tubers, YouTubers, whatever, streamers specifically, how many of us do actually smoke? Oh, Matt, you know I'd do it as well. You know I'd shake that booty into the camera. Hello, Antonio. Thank you very much. Welcome. Yeah, if there was a twerk sticker, I'd twerk for $1. I've done it for less. Twerk. Evening, Jeremy. Yeah, shake, 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 shake your booty. I mean, no one would want to see it, but I'd do it anyway, because I have no shame. Where was I before I started thinking about twerking and marriage? That's where I was going, yes. Certain people who can't remember their second name ever. If you know who I'm talking about, you know what I mean. Who keep tanks entirely of male cichlids and then wonder why they keep fighting when they get to a certain age. Well, they keep digging all these pits in the sand and then they start fighting with each other. I wonder why that might be. Duh. If you don't blow the bum drum, that would be epic, ODD. Shaking the booty and then that would be hilarious. Evening, Mr. Y-Rock, Mr. Eric. Y-Rock, Cos-Rock. That's why. I'm at the best times, like Sharpe twerking D with a tube top on her head. Was it just on the head, or had it been pulled up? And was DD flashing us? Is what I'm asking. Because if I miss that, I'm very upset. If I miss the DD flash, I'm going to need photographic evidence, laminated. Sorry, sorry, not sorry. But yeah, I've done weirder stuff than twerking. I'm kind of well known for my ability to do the mince walk as well, swing the old hips. Well, I have to be a bit careful these days because, oh, the blind fish keeper attempt. Ah, that I did see that. I was kind of disappointed though, DD. You went all the trouble of putting the apron on, and you didn't take off what was underneath it. Come on, dear. Not a bad day, Antonio. Thank you. Went for a trundle to an LFS. Didn't buy anything, but went for a visit to an LFS. Oh, I wouldn't run folks off, DD. I might get flagged, but you know. Well, there aren't many YouTube videos you can sprain your wrists to, but that would be one. Too classy for those kind of shenanigans. Well, I mean, Dee Dee is a classy lady, but I've got a feeling that deep down, if the camera weren't on, yeah, just don't cook sausages naked. That's just some free advice for you all. Or bacon, or fried eggs. Don't fry anything in a pan naked. Just saying. Learn from my mistakes. And back in the day when everyone didn't carry a camera, this is it. This is why I'm glad I'm the age I am. Because all my youthful shenanigans, there is no actual evidence or proof of. Okay, so the stuff I can't remember, which is quite a bit, there's nothing. But the things I can remember that I kind of think, oh no, it's just a normal cigarette, Antonio. I ain't got enough money to roll, and I don't. Nothing against toking a fat one. I've done it many times, but I don't anymore. My only drugs of choice now are caffeine and nicotine. No alcohol and no fun tobacco or mushrooms or bits of paper with pretty patterns on them. I was going back a bit. I hand roll because it's just so much cheaper. I mean, if you didn't know, in the UK, 30 gram or ounce and a bit is about 12, 13 pound, which is what, 15, 16 bucks, which is about the same price as a pack of 20 cigarettes. In theory, if you control the amount of moisture when you fry a random item, you can then calculate the amount of spitback it will cause, thus enabling you to calculate a better alternative cooking procedure. True, very true, scientifically speaking. But unfortunately, given the minor variances in mass produced food, you can never be entirely sure. Plus, it's just easier to wear clothes. Did I sell any fish? I didn't, Sherry. I didn't have it. This is one I don't supply. So just wandered up there for a look. Well, I say wandered, drove up there for a look. Had a few things in mind that I was kind of wanting to buy, but funding, etc. Are Shelley's popular over there? Well, yes, they are. Because especially this area, because we're in very hard water area. So Shelley's, Tanganyikans in general, African cichlids in general, really are popular. Yes, well, the contents of that breeder box are now in that tank. And I'll say this is also the tank where the entire spawn of bristlenoses got eaten by the clown loaches, which is why the clown loaches aren't there anymore. Yeah, and it's kind of nice to actually be able to see the tank without a honking great breeder box in the corner of it, to be honest. But it'll only be another week or so before Spotty's back in the cave. So, yeah. It kind of gives me a little bit of a break as well, as it were. So it's not all bad losing a spawn. I mean, it's 150 quid down the drain, or 140 because I sold the clown loaches. But it give me a bit of a break, be able to get stuff to move through, and then hopefully clear out a tank or two, which I can then turn off. Well, yeah, turn off a heater and a filter, and save a bit of money on the electric. Yeah, that's why. So my thing is, I don't like being hot. Don't like heat. So it's easier to just not wear clothes. Especially, I mean, I live on my own, so I want to wander around in boxes all day. I can do. I just have to remember to put clothes on before I leave the house because I've forgotten before. I have got outside the front door in just my boxer shorts and gone, where are my keys? Oh. Whoops. Although the old fart that lives over the back in the bungalow, he's only been there a few months, 6 months, I think, something like that. He's a miserable old git. And it's like, I'll be doing water changes because I'm visible through the back door. And if I'm doing water changes, what's the point in putting on a bunch of clothes that are just going to get wet and covered in pleco poop, right? Print out a picture of the breeder box and put it there. Yeah, it's just a cigarette paywall. Cigarette paywalls. It's just tobacco. Hence, it's got a filter in it rather than a roach. Yes, cut out, stick a picture of. I could always stick a. I've got another one, so I could always stick a Daniel keeping fish sticker in its place, or just print out someone else's breeder box with something random in it. I say, going back probably about half hour, talking about smoking. I wonder how many of us YouTubers, streamers in particular, do actually smoke, but the rest go through their stream without smoking, or because it's not something you see. You don't see, or I don't necessarily see people having a puff. Do a lot of hand frying, saying it's very close to the oil. Batter also helps protect your fingers. Yeah, true. Bit of batter on the fingers will keep the oil off, and then when the batter gets cooked, you can eat it. Ah, tank photo camo. Make the reader box disappear. Yeah, there is that. But yeah, it just kind of looks weird without having a breeder box in there, to be honest, doesn't it? I got smoking nearly 2 years ago, still miss it. I mean, I did at one point give up and was absolutely fine with it, much like I am with alcohol and drugs. Um, then I just thought, sod it, and started again. The main thing I miss is something to do with my hands, and if I'm left alone with fidgety hands and nothing to do and access to the internet, it's only going to go one way, I'm afraid. Yes, I'm almost tempted to put the breeder box back in there just because it feels like it should be there. It's the same with the other flex, or with the other bristle noses. I'm so used to there being a breeder box in there that when I pull the breeder box out, it looks weird. As I survived the alcohol and the drugs. Got to die of something. Might as well be something I enjoy. Arts and crafts. Yeah, well, I kind of stopped doing the modelling, hence why the model has got taken off the channel name. Ashtray. So yes, as Jeremy was saying about Shelly Dwellies, there we go. If you look real close, you'll see the little baby ones. There's one right down the back in the hollow. Oh, there's 3 of them, 4 of them down there. But yeah, so we've got several generations of frying here at the moment. There's more down behind that rock work. Oh, yeah, you can see one of them up against the back of the tank. Teeny tiny little babies. Is Smush Face out and about? Oh, she's down there somewhere, I think. Oh, yeah, we're going to spit sand around. Yeah, I'll say it's yeah, and because happy Karas, get the camera about right, because the Karas are awesome, and everything else that's in there completely out of focus. Come on, camera, focus. And one of the best things I ever bought, Pleco Cave. That's what they've done with the tank. Yeah, that is it. Shellies are the perfect gift for the OCD fish keeper. So we're selling them $30 each. Yeah, well, I mean, I say the panda cories I saw today, they were $8.50 each. I was like, oh, nope. No offense, panda cories are awesome, but they're not the same price as stir-by cories. Although they did have albino stir-bys. Feel any healthier? Don't. Yeah, I mean, that is the reason I smoke roll-ups. Is it's so much cheaper. Because if I was smoking TaylorMades, I'd be smoking Marlboro. They're about £14-15 a packet. So yeah, I'll probably. But yeah, if you got an OCD fish keeper who likes everything perfect, oh no, my sand must be perfectly level. Everything must be exactly how I place it. No, the kind of person who's not going to do a blind fish keeper challenge, set up a tank with a blindfold on. You know, they're the perfect gift. Smoke embassy number ones. Ooh, that's an albino Congo tetras. Yeah. So I'm guessing they're basically just Congo tetras with pink eyes. You still get the iridescence, but you don't get the colour flash. Yeah, cool. And Bristol knows how batch all the babies are albino. Yeah. That is a bit of a weird one, especially if both the parents aren't albino. Because I've got, well, Spotty is my male. He's a common black chocolate, whatever you want to call it. And he's been with Bertie, who is the sunshine, and with Ginger, who is the longfin super red. And all the babies were black. It was just with Ginger, half of them were longfin. But now Ginger was with Fred, who is a super red, so all the babies are super reds. But yeah, the only weird one I did have was I had I call it chimera. There's a technical term where the front half of it was black and the back half of it was yellow. Yeah, it's just a weird freak of nature. I mean, you might find they colour up later. But yeah, I would say it's normally within a few days you can see the colour they're going to be. And the super reds and the commons, yes, within a week you'll know what colour they're going to be. So, yeah, result. So I get a batch up of this pair every month. And they're both hiding up at the moment, so I hope they aren't both in the bloody cave. It wouldn't be the first time I've done that live on a stream. Or I've finished the stream, turned around and gone, what are they both? Oh, bugger. Albino paradise fish looks like a mini Oscar. Yeah, true. Yeah, would do. But yeah, so I've got the only albinos I've got are the albino bronze cories, which you'll call them the common name. Yeah, they're cool. Funky little dudes. And just like with Spaz the Bicher, Bishir, Bicker, however you want to pronounce it, dino fish, when the tank lights are off, but the sun is coming through the curtains because the sun rises over that way and shines this way. If they catch their eyes right, because they got the pink eyes, they glow bright red. It's funny enough when the Bicher did it. Well, it was creepy when he did it the first time. There's a sort of, happened to turn around and look in the tank, and there's this pair of glowing red eyes staring at me. It was like, oh. And oh yeah, you can see I've not been sleeping great lately. Black circles under my eyes. This is the thing. If I stop smoking, I'm not going to gain a sense of smell or a sense of taste because I didn't have them to start with. So yeah, I didn't have a sense of smell. Then I broke my nose several times and started smoking. So yeah, that's not ever happening. And the sense of taste is virtually non-existent as well. So, you know, I'm just used to not being able to taste or smell anything. It's probably why I can swig energy drink all day long. Yeah, if you have If you have quit, congratulations to you. Well done. Stay strong. All Marriott and Chris going away on Friday. Anywhere fun? And fist bumps to Chris. Going away for a mum and son break. Get away from Papa. Just don't go injuring yourself. I know what you're like. There's probably going to be some skiing or ice skating involved. Going to Stavanger for a hockey game on Saturday. Cool. I'm trying to think. What do I know about Stavanger? Sorry, Stavanger. Football team is Viking Stavanger. That's about all I know, I think, other than how to pronounce it. Well, to pronounce it the English way anyway, not the Norwegian way. And Sherry's hoping the Holly Bobs don't get cancelled. Yeah, there's all depends how things go. I mean, that's happened quite a lot the last couple of years. I did great. Oh, thank you very much. You see, all them years watching European football on TV have actually paid off. Yeah. Learning how to pronounce the names of the clubs and the players. German and French is normally pretty easy, but when you start looking at Polish and Hungarian and Norwegian and Swedish and all the others, some of them you need to hear it spoken out loud before you can figure out what the heck it says. I swear some of the Eastern Bloc countries. Never been to a hockey game. It's ice hockey, so it's basically a fight with sticks. 7 hours on trains, you don't sit your butt in a flying tin can full of other people's farts. Especially, airborne global pandemic. Let's sit in a confined space with recirculated air. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, and it's also 7 hours on a train. You can have a nap and you can watch the beautiful countryside. Played a Swedish team called Randers. Randers as in random or Randy. You see more by train is more comfortable. Exactly. And when you're in as beautiful a country as Norway, you want to see it. I mean, if you're going from one side to the other of Birmingham, you'd probably be better off flying because you don't really want to see it. Apologies to any Brummies, not. I think we can all appreciate that big cities generally aren't attractive places to look at. Conference. Yeah. The very old heart of the city might be quite pretty. Some of the buildings. When you get to the more recent stuff, just concrete and steel. Also, did you know rebar concrete, the reinforced concrete, actually has about 100-year lifespan? Maybe on Friday, home on Sunday. Oh. So you'll have a good time, I'm sure, Marek. But if you have a kick in of anxiety, let me know. Leicester is horrible. No, I'm trying to think. When was the last time I went to Leicester? Because I mean, you've got a cathedral and things like that, which are, lovely. But the rest, yeah, it's just like any city. You get up to a certain point where the buildings were still built aesthetically and they looked nice, and then architects get involved, and it just, you're like, no, it just doesn't fit with the rest of it. And then councils get involved, and it's just a big concrete block. No. Norwich is a beautiful city in parts. I mean, the old parts of the city where you've got the cathedrals. I mean, because at one point, Norwich had a pub for every day of the year. It had 365 pubs, and it had 52 churches. So you could go to a different church every week. There's slightly fewer now, but a lot of the old ones are still there. And if it wasn't always so blooming busy, I might actually film some of it, but full of drunks, druggies, and homeless. Yeah, every big city or every city is like that. It's got its areas. Norwich has, I mean, heck, there's probably a few homeless in Attleborough. Tend not to see them much, but Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics. Evening, Brennan. How are you doing, sir? Oh, and today's choice of t-shirt is just a random skull with things that I've had for donkey's years, which is why it's no longer white. So it's just cities are like that. And even small towns. I mean, Attleborough is a small town, and the old part is still quite pretty. And you get all the new built stuff, and it's all either looks identical or it's got no character or but ugly. Hanging out at the shop cleaning today. Not much going on. Not having much going on is always a good day, I find. Ooh, itchy head now. And sorry, Dee Dee, bum trumpet. Pardon me. Brave. It's only yesterday evening I dared do that. Can't be a bit cleaning. Yes. It's one of those things. If you work in a shop, there's always some cleaning that needs doing, and especially if you've got animals. Yeah. Oh dear, Marek. I bet you rumble well when you let one go, though, don't you? It sounds like Mount Etna's erupting. Oh, what was that Icelandic one from a few years back? Remember that one, the Icelandic volcano? The one that shut down airspace over Europe for weeks? Teenagers, people dying. Yeah, or if you're sat at an outdoor cafe in the middle of Oslo and you do it and everyone's looking around wondering where the hell the noise came from. Yes, I remember you saying that. Yeah, teenagers. Where was I going before I started thinking about Marek farting? And cleaning, brain fart, brain fart, brain fart. Don't sing or dance. Awkward silence. My brain was going somewhere. We were on bad architecture. And on to farting. And I've forgotten where we were. Help, help, help. What was I waffling about? So I'm getting old. Don't do drugs, kids, because this is what happens to your brain. You can remember stuff from 30 years ago and you can remember scientific facts, but you can't remember what you were talking about 30 seconds ago. And so I went sideways because no flying. Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty much. There wasn't much we could do about it, really. There's a monumental ash cloud. That's what I was talking about. On the way to Amsterdam for Stag Do, we were one of the last flights. If you were going to Amsterdam, you produced your own ash cloud. Because that volcano, even the Icelandics called it Big E because they didn't want to pronounce the name of it. I did actually learn how to pronounce it. I'm trying to remember. It was something like Eyjafjallajökull or something like that. Yeah, one of them things that you look at on paper and it doesn't actually sound anything like how you pronounce it. I've got to wonder if the Icelandic people are actually Welsh. Well, yeah, it's been a few years, Marek, and I don't speak the language, so. Fiacla, yeah, something like that. But, when the people whose language and country it is just call it Big E. And let's be honest, there aren't that many successful Icelandic football teams for me to get to learn the language from. Or racing drivers, that's the other one. Yeah, no Hackenens, Raikkonens, or anything like that. Yeah, so weird pronunciations of things. Biggie was a rapper. Is that rapper with a W or? Big E's is a fish keeper. Yeah, rap music just totally passed me by. I think I heard about 3 songs and went, yeah, they all sound the same to me. Not much in the way that a lot of rap fans think rock music all sound or metal all sounds the same. Well, a lot of people think metal is just noise and shouting. Says a dad joke, looks in the mirror and sighs. Yeah, but at least you're a dad though, Dan. That's the thing. I'm not a dad. Who do I like to listen to? Well, if we go back through the years, the Smiths, The Cure, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, 9 Inch Nails, Pearl Jam, Misery Loves Co, Cradle of Filth, Rage Against the Machine. So there is some rap in there, bit of Kid Rock. Duran Duran, Depeche Mode, back when pop music was music, not Muzak. Nightwish, Winter Sun, um, Sabaton. Some people are trying to pronounce the last three letters in the Norwegian alphabet. But bet. There you go. I don't even know what the Norwegian alphabet is. I bet it's three letters and they've got the weird dots, and so that's E. Because AE like that is, well, the start of ether. I'm going with E, and R. Something like that. Bear in mind, I have no clue. So if I've even got 1 out of 3, I'm going to be very happy. Well, it's a lot. I'm not surprised, sure, if you don't know too many of the groups I listen to. Because it is mostly rock and metal, and quite a bit, or most of it's on the darker side. No, I didn't even get one right. Oh well, never mind. I'll just have to give up speaking Norwegian then. Never mind. It's a good job Norwegians all speak English, pretty much. And to be fair, most Norwegians speak better English than most English people do. You don't drop all the letters that I drop. Oh, pardon me. I really should start trying to enunciate more clearly with all the letters in the word. Don't have a choice. Well, I didn't have a choice, but I had to learn French. So that's only useful if you're going to go to France. Sorry, go to France or go to Quebec. That's about the only two places that speak French. That's generally only when there aren't any English around, or when there are English around. People can communicate without language. You don't need to necessarily communicate the finer points. It's the general gist of what you're trying to talk about. With random sign language and some African places. Yeah, there are a few African countries that still speak French. But then you just got to go a few miles and you're in a country that speaks English, so, or German even. Well, I think all the African countries that were German colonies got rid of the language as soon as they could. Still never found out French for ensuite. The dad jokes are flying out the door tonight, Dan. Oh dear. Yeah. It's less Danny boy and more Del boy tonight. I think that's what's happening. Um, yeah. Although you could also go with that to the French for ensuite is bouquet, as in a bouquet residence, lady of the house speaking. Oh God, that character was so much like my grandma, it's unbelievable. I swear she was actually based on my grandmother, Mrs. Bucket. Ugh. I'm having flashbacks and it's giving me chills, that program. Think of Victor Meldrew instead. I don't bloody believe it. British comedy. Grumpy old man being grumpy wins comedy award after comedy award. Don't think it would have translated well into other countries though. One foot in the grave. That's very funny. Mind you, Keeping Up Appearances was funny as well. It was just hit a bit close to home. It was basically someone who was common as muck pretending that they were posh and failing. Very well acted, very well written. And I didn't realise that her son was gay. All sorts of random stuff going on in that show. Oh, we've got a Shelley squabble going on. Stop chucking your sand in my hole. Well, stop chucking your sand in my hole. Dad and his sister. Oh dear, I'm not sure if I should laugh. I answered the phone and picked up the laptop. She's Hyacinth and the dad's arms like, oh, I bet you had some fun with that. What hole? The holes that the Shelleys dig. You know, because the Shelleys are the digging VIPs. It's literally one will pick up a mouthful of sand, spit out of where they've dug their little hole. It goes into the other Shelley's hole, and it picks the sand and spits it back. And have a little argument and go back to doing what they were doing. Yeah, those holes, not my holes. I haven't got Shelley's spitting sand in my holes. Yeah. So the other one is, Sherry, please don't tell me your dad lived in a council house and wore a murky, mucky vest. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I say down the. Yeah, that was one foot in the grave. Victor Meldrew, the grumpy old man, he's just in a grump, and he goes to pick up the phone. The phone rings. He's already grumpy. Goes to pick up the phone, and it's a Dachshund. He actually picks up the Dachshund puppy and holds it to his head like he's answering the phone. Oh, that was hilarious. Just one of those. I think it was a Dachshund, sausage dog, deformed rat, one of them. Yeah. If your dog can't win a fight with a rat, it's not a dog. Mind you, many years ago, my old rat beat up next door's cat. So, you know. Silly cat's fault for climbing in my bedroom window. Dog's got to be a dog-sized dog. Well, I say, next door's dog Pippa. She's a Lhasa Apso. She's lovely. She's everyone's friend. Well, she thinks everyone is her friend, no matter what they think. She's got a Staffy's the biggest wimp going. Oh yeah, the bigger the dog, the softer they get. It's, you know, you get the tiny little yappy dogs that keep trying to bite your ankles all the time, and you get the big flumpy fluffy dogs that just want to sleep. I kind of envy those dogs. I kind of envy cats as well, really, because you wake up, you go for a wander, you have a slash, someone feeds you, you go back to sleep again. That's pretty much your life. Sounds good to me. And if you want to cuddle or someone to scratch your ears, you just rub your head up against someone's leg and they'll do it. It's quite simple, really. But we have figured out where some of the stray cats around here have come from. There's some new people moved in across the road that way. And apparently there was a fence in their back garden, a shed in their back garden, had a big hole in it and was falling down. So they got rid of the shed before it completely collapsed. And it turns out there were like 3 stray cats living in it. So that's where they turned up from. He was attacked by a German Shepherd between your legs. Yeah. Well, German Shepherds are pretty scary dogs, or can be. If you're friends with a German Shepherd, they're awesome dogs. If you're not friends with it, or if it thinks you're a threat to its owner or its property, you got some trouble. I generally get on well with dogs. They recognise their own kind. I'm that person that goes for a walk and every single dog that's along the route of the walk I take, every single one comes over to me for a fuss, to say hello. Even if I don't know them, they come and say hello. And they get a fuss. And quite a lot of owners are going, oh, it's okay, he won't bite you, he won't bite you. I'm like, yeah, I know he won't. I'm not scared of him. He's got no reason to be aggressive towards me. Exactly. You gotta love your doggo. But yeah, it's so these days I'm probably more, if I was gonna get an animal, I'd probably go for a cat rather than a dog. It's just because they're easier to look after, pretty much. Don't have to take them for walks, number one. It's always good. They take up less space. You just stick a tray down somewhere and they go to the loo in that. Well, I do have, obviously, that dude, but he's a bit difficult to fuss and cuddle. That's the only problem. And Ginge, who I was kind of in the process of stealing, something's happened there, and Ginge isn't being exactly friendly again. But he's not letting anyone fuss him at the moment. So I suspect someone's probably tried to hurt him again, as he was abused when he was younger, I'm pretty sure. And he was just getting over that. And he'd come and have a fuss and a cuddle. And he's slept on me a few times. But now, he won't come near. So we've got to work on building that trust again. Someone's obviously done something to break that trust. And I won't do it with food. I want it to be, you can come and have a fuss. That's the problem, is Ginge isn't a fighter, Marrett. I mean, that guy would have savaged anyone who even tried to go near him, let alone tried to hurt him. Someone tried to hurt him, they would have needed hospitalisation. But yeah, Ginge isn't a fighter, and yeah, I'm pretty sure someone's done something. Because it's not just me, he just doesn't trust anyone now. Nobody gets to give him a fuss or a cuddle. Whereas I worked on it and got to the point where I was like, oh, hello, Ginge, bend down, give him a fuss, pick him up, have a cuddle. Yeah, oh, good boy, yeah. Have a purr. You know, as I say, come in, curl up on my lap, fall asleep. And no one come anywhere near anyone. So something's happened. Yeah, too right, Sherry. If you've got a GSD and you know it's aggressive, you keep it on a bloody lead. Yeah, okay, the muzzle means it can't bite anything, but it doesn't mean it's not going to scare the bejesus out of anything. And they're a big dog, so it doesn't need to be able to bite someone to be able to hurt them. You know, we've all seen people get knocked over by bigger dogs. So, yeah. As I say, it's not a bad dog, it's a bad owner. Yeah, I'll keep working with Ginge. Keep just being nice. If he wants a fuss, he can have a fuss. If he tries to get away from me, the thing I always do is always give him an out, a way to get away. Don't corner an animal. And then, you know, if I can get a fuss, I'll get a fuss. And then I won't hurt him if I'm fussing him. And then you gradually build up the confidence again. Oh, poor Brucey. Send him fusses for Bruce. But yeah, if you've got a dog that needs muzzling, keep it on the blooming lead. You only put a muzzle on it because it's not safe. Yeah, never corner a cat. No, that's one way to guarantee you're going to get clawed or bitten. Yeah, so I'll keep saying hello. I'll keep being pleasant and nice, not cornering him. Eventually, he'll come around again. I'll be out giving fusses, and I'll be out giving cuddles, and then hopefully by the time the weather warms up and I'm leaving the back door open most of the time, he'll be able to come and go as he likes. That's pretty much what happened with Zach. He'd get his fusses and his cuddles and, well, mainly just fusses because he didn't like other cats seeing him get a cuddle. Whose cat is it? It's technically no one's cat at the moment, Sherry. The owner's not really kicked it out, kicked himself out. It's like he'd had enough of living there. So my neighbours feed it, and there's a couple of people across the street who put food out for him as well. Yeah, and Zach was my neighbour's cat. He just decided he liked me, and so he'd come and have a fuss. I'd say he didn't let people fuss him. He wasn't that kind of a cat. He was half feral. I say cats have about 3 owners. Yeah, that's about right. I say he didn't like people. He was half feral. So to be able to fuss him was quite a big thing. And to have him actually come to me for a fuss was the next big step. And when I finally got can I pick him up? Oh, yeah, he's okay with it. Yeah, he's not scratching me. Oh, he's purring. Oh, that's okay. And then one day he didn't actually come wandering in. The back door was open. I was just sat there. I think he was probably playing on the computer or something, on the console. and hear a meow. Turn around and he's sort of looking in the back door like he's asking whether he can come in or not. So I said, "Now, come on in then. Come on, come have a fuss." In he came. No, this was before I had fish sherry. Dee had a feral kitten after the third day. That's the thing, kittens is a bit different. Zach was full grown. Hello, Dave. How are you, sir? Hello, Dave. Yeah, and eventually it got to the point where I could just pick Zach up, give him fusses and cuddles and belly rubs, and he'd come and sleep with me. He still does do that. He's been dead over a year. Yeah, but yeah, cats pick their human. It's like he went next door for food. They got to feed him, and if they were lucky, they got a fuss. And then he'd come back here for his chill time and his fusses and cuddles and play and everything. Because he was a big floofy cat, lots and lots of very thick fluff. He used to get a lot of knots in his fur. I mean, he did his best, bless him, to try and de-knot himself, but and yeah, I was the only one who could trim the knots out. I was the only one who could put the suntan or sun cream on his ears, because he'd been in that many fights, he didn't have any fur left on his ears anymore. Yeah, he was my gorgeous floofy boy, and he's still around. He was around earlier, actually. He was snuffling Mary's feet. But let's say, for anyone who's not familiar with the floof monster, get rid of the glare somehow. There we go. There's my little buddy. Looking at his, giving it his very best look at me, aren't I sweet look. Rather than his look at me and I'll tear your face off look. Which is a fairly regular one. He did. But yes, he definitely liked his catnip and his bacon and his cheese and his gravy and egg and pretty much anything that wasn't cat food. If I was eating it, he wanted it. If I was feeding it to the fish, he wanted it. He liked algae wafers. Yeah, weird cat. Yes, cats are awesome. Oof, pardon me. So, yeah, cats. Floofy monsters. I just try and befriend all the furry animals that are around here. But no, I say Zach wasn't interested in the fish in a way of eating them. He looked after them. He was my water change buddy. Marritt's got a 14-year-old girlie. Yeah. At first, when he'd sit by the bucket, it was like, what are you doing? Why are you sat by the bucket while I'm doing the water change? This was back when I just had one tank. This is my first frugal flex. And he'd sit there watching. And one day he started meowing at me. Quite desperate meows, like there's something wrong. Human, you need to do something. Human, you need to fix something. So I looked down. What are you meowing at? Looking in the bucket, as he's heading, staring into the bucket, meowing, looking up at me, meowing, looking back in the bucket. Oh, I can't bloody see anything. What are you? So I got the torch. It's a black bucket, so it's hard to see anything. Also in the middle of a water change, so kind of cloudy. So showing the torch in the bucket, there's a baby platy in there. He was actually telling me that I'd sucked up a baby platy. I didn't even know I had. but it was part of his jobs. He would go around every day and have a look at every tank, just make sure everything was okay. If he saw an ex-fishy floating or whatever, he would meow until I sorted the problem. And we're talking about a cat that would hunt and shred pigeons and gulls and other cats and people. He was scared of frogs, but I've seen him pick up a baby blackbird that fell out of the nest and put it back in the nest because it was in my garden, and my house and my garden got his protection. No, I had was it the angelfish and what was it? Was it the angel and the gourami? Yeah, the angelfish and the gourami started fighting, and he was stood there meowing at the tank, telling them to stop. Yeah, he's that kind of cat. The bestest cat. Bestest boy ever. And that's probably why I haven't got myself a cat. Because whatever cat I get is never going to be as good as he was. And I know he was friends with Ginge as well, so if Ginge comes in and has a snooze, that's fine. West Kent, evening, Wes. My cat would pick up my crabs and bring up my hip, put it back in her aquarium. Yeah, as I say, it's weird how some they do it. It's like they know it's wrong and needs to be fixed, so they bring it to you to fix it. Yeah, they do worm their way into our hearts, Sherry. That's to be true. Can't deny any of that. They do work their way in. And Zach and I weren't like human and cat or cat and human. We were kind of at the same level. It was more we were friends than owner and pet, although I wasn't his owner. To the point where if he had to go to the vets and his owners took him to the vet, it was World War III. The vet had the full-on leather gauntlets on and face mask and plate mail armor, and I'd hear when he was being taken to the vets. If I saw my owners afterwards, I'd know he'd been, because their arms are covered in plasters and bandages. But the one time I had to take him because he came to the back door again, and I heard the human "I need help" meow. Because he'd been in a fight or something. I think he'd been in a fight because he'd got a cut across his throat. And no putting him in a carrier. I literally picked him up. Well, I wrapped him up in my fleece, picked him up, talking to him, walked down to the vet, took him in, go, yeah, I've got Zach, he's been in a fight and he's bleeding quite badly from his neck. Go straight into the vets. And the vet was amazed that Zach just sat there and let him do what he had to do. There was no fighting or scrapping or needing to hold him down or anything. He just sat there. So I was like, yeah, give him a fuss. He's fine. Yeah. Pick him up, take him home. No worries. Can't spell Schnauzer. Schnauzer? Schnauzer? Scheiße? Schnauzer? Yeah, giant Schnauzer. I figured out. Yeah, as I say, it's like they know which animals are your pets and that they should help or look after. Um, you get a big old dog, and then you get you have a baby. Obviously, it's not happened to me, but the dog knows it has to be careful and delicate and gentle with the baby, and it just is. Yeah, like, they know things. There's a whole lot. Dogs, cats, a lot of animals. There's a lot more going on behind the eyes than we realise. There's a lot more going on in them little furry heads, and they definitely have a connection to things we don't generally. They can see things we can't see. Because Zach was aware I had a shadow person way in the house way before I was. It took me a while to figure out why he'd sit at the bottom of the stairs just staring up with his ears back and his teeth bared. It took me quite a while to figure that one out. Yeah, schnauzers are cool. But let's see if I can. Should we see if I can click the right buttons and see if I can spell it? Pretty thick. yeah, but there's still more going on back there than you might realise. I think that's it. Schnauzer? Or is it with a Z? Might be that. Because if I did it with the S, it came up with a red line. But yes, there is definitely more going on in those little heads than we realise or know about. Um, yeah. If your dog or cat keeps staring at something and reacting to it, but you can't see anything, doesn't mean there's not anything there. All the best dog traits and then some. Yeah, I'm saying it's a big dog, not a little yappy thing. I mean, each to their own. Um, but yeah, I like my dog size. Muppet, hello Muppers, been a while. Hope you're all well and dandy. Oh God, that sounded bad. Don't copy Rebecca, vocal athlete. Well and dandy. Let's go with. Turn up just in time to finish. And don't worry, Dave. I know Brianne's going live in a minute or two, so I will end the stream in time and send people over to Brianne. Although I'm going to have to go get something to eat and do stuff. So, hi, Brie. Most dogs. Once you get dogs above, I don't know what sort of size we're looking. Probably. Now, once you get the spaniel size, then most dogs are pretty chill. It's only the really small ones that get aggro. So I've never been bitten by a big dog. I've been bitten by plenty of little ones. Oh, there was one Jack Russell when I was a teenager. He used to chase you on your bike and nip your ankles as you rode past the house. Times that dog got kicked. Easygoing, loyal, daft, and smart at the same time. That's what you want. A dog that's a bit daft, but is actually quite bright. That's also kind of what you want with people as well. Smart, but you know, able to be a bit dumb when the need arises. Be a bit derpy. I think that's pretty much what derpy means, isn't it? Cute, dumb. Daft as a brush. It's like the blood parrots, or as I call them, derp fish. They look so sweet and happy. But I'm pretty sure if they could attack things, they would, being cichlids. But anyway, we are at the 2 hour mark ish, because I started a little bit late, but you know, computers being a git. Well, we get on because we're both a bit daft and smart. Yeah. Nothing to do with the similar hairlines either. But anyway, thank you, teeth in. Thank you very much, everyone, for turning up, bearing with me. Thank you for my super chats. Most appreciated. Will go to good use. Probably paying a bill. Eek. Um, and yeah, so look out for videos Monday, a silly short Wednesday, and then another on Friday. And if I don't see it elsewhere online during the week, stay safe, have fun, enjoy your hobby. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday Sharpe do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe do 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 do. Ah.